is Miss B and I'm the creator of this YouTube channel. If you haven't already done so, you can go ahead and subscribe below to get more books of Miss B stories every single week. And also, if you'd like to send me book request messages, let me know how you're doing, some of your favorite stories, you can go ahead and visit me at Books with Miss B, my Instagram page. And just let me know what you thought of today's story and just stop by and say hello. I love when you do. Thank you to those of my friends who have already reached out. You guys fill my heart with so much joy. So before we get started on today's very special story, I would like for you, my sweet human, yeah, I'm talking to you. I'd like for you to lean in super close. Closer. Closer? Perfect. And I want you to listen to this one very important thing. And that one very important thing is that you, my little friend sitting right there, are absolutely perfect. Just the way you are. True story. So please don't try to be anybody else. Don't do it. Just be you. Got it? Your magical, fabulous, creative, smart, silly, kind, oh so special self. Miss B loves you too, like crazy from the bottom of my heart. Love yourself, you got it? Okay, good. That's kind of what this story is about today. And I could not be more excited to introduce this somewhat brand new author and this very special story that she's written. Now, this story, like all stories that I read, lots of them have very important messages. So when you're reading the story or you're listening to a read aloud, sometimes there's a part of the story that like gets you right here, right in your heart, and makes you feel warm and cozy. It gives you lots of joy, or it just has a lot of meaning, makes you feel really good. This is also a story about a character who has something that sets her apart from everybody else. Maybe that's you. Maybe you have something about you that sets you apart and makes you different. We all are different, and that's pretty cool that we're all different and unique. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this story, and I just know you're gonna fall madly in love with it. It's called Shreya's Very Own Style. And this is written by Suhani, Parikh, and it's also illustrated by Lovyaa, Garg. Now, this character right here has something extra special going on. And I want to read the very beginning of this book. On the inside, there's a note from Miss Suhani, the incredible author, that talks about what this little girl has. This is a condition that she has. Doesn't define who she is, but it's something that she has. It's called alopecia areata. I hope I'm saying that right. Alopecia areata. Maybe you know what that word is. It's a big word. Can you say it? Alopecia. It's kind of a strange word. But it's a common autoimmune disorder that causes unpredictable hair loss on the head, face, and other areas of the body. So perhaps you know somebody who has alopecia, maybe someone in your family, maybe you have it. Or maybe you've never even heard of it before. So this character, Shreya, right here, this sweet little girl, has alopecia. And a fun fact about Miss Suhani, the author, she also has alopecia. She was diagnosed with this autoimmune disorder when she was 4 years old. So let's learn all about this magical character and what she has to go through having alopecia. Let's get started. Shreya was a whiz at learning things. Sporty things, brainy things, silly things. Can you make a silly face? You hear my son in the background? He's being silly too. Larger than life things and even simple little things. She loved learning it all, but the one thing she could never quite seem to figure out was what else to do with her hair. Her hair was a little different. It was thinner than her friend's hair, and she could only style it one way, so none of the patches on her head would show. The patches with no hair at all. Her family always said, "Your hair is just one part of everything that makes up who you are." "But it's a part of me that everyone can see," Shreya would always reply. No, it was better to keep the patches covered. After all, what would she say if someone asked her, "Shreya, what happened to your hair?" Now, if only those pesky strands of hair would stay off her face. Ooh, a soccer ball. You guys play soccer? Have you ever played soccer before? My son likes to play soccer. With her hair swooped over to one side, Shreya walked onto the field. She dodged, dribbled, and dashed. She tackled, trapped, and tricked. Hooray! She scored the winning goal for her soccer team. Shreya felt like a champion as she lifted the trophy over her head. But then she spotted her friend Lena's long ribbon-wrapped ponytail dancing in the breeze. I wish I could have a ribbon-wrapped ponytail like that, she thought to herself. Suddenly, the golden trophy didn't sparkle as brightly as it did a moment before. Shreya didn't feel like celebrating anymore. Ooh, a science fair. With her hair swooped over to one side, Shreya took her place behind her table. She tinkered, tested, and tweaked. She prepared, presented, and placed. Great work. She won first place in the science fair. Shreya felt so cool as her teacher placed a gold medal around her neck. But then she saw the perfect bun that kept all the hair off of her friend Alicia's face. Shreya waved away a pesky strand of hair and thought, I wish I could tie my hair in a bun. Shreya suddenly went from feeling cool to feeling cold. She wished she had a hat to wear. Ooh, a Diwali show. There's dancing at the Diwali show. With her hair swooped over to one side, Shreya walked onto the stage. She dipped and dove and dazzled. She smiled, stepped, and spun. Bravo! Shreya felt like a star bowing before a sea of clapping hands. Just then her eyes fell on her friend Sonia's long gem-lined braid ending in a spray of colorful tassels. Shreya patted her own simple hairstyle and wondered what would happen if she lined her hair with gems. No, the last thing I need is everyone looking at my head, Shreya thought. Suddenly, Shreya didn't want to be on stage anymore. She felt like hiding. She woke up the next morning feeling glum. As she walked to school, all she could think about were ribbon-wrapped ponytails, perfect buns, and gem-lined braids. All those things would never be a part of who she was. At school, she went to her cubby, and to her surprise, she saw 4 small pieces of paper. What could these be? Then she remembered. Kindness Week. These must be notes of kindness. But what could they possibly say? What could others have noticed about her? She slowly opened each one. What do you think they said about her? I think you might be right. Dancing queen, soccer champion, coolest scientist ever. There's nothing you can't do. While she had been worrying that people would see something wrong, her friends were focused on everything she was doing right. Even though she didn't have her friends' hairstyles, she did have her own style after all. There is nothing I can't do, Shreya whispered to herself. She went home that afternoon feeling determined. She knew it was time to do something about those pesky strands of hair. She's on a mission to figure it out, right? She pulled her hair back into a ponytail. No. She turned the ponytail into a small bun. No. She added some clips. But no, none of these would work. She needed a style of her very own. So she started thinking. She thought about how hard she had worked all summer long, learning how to kick a soccer ball just right to send it straight into the goal. She thought about how many hours she spent working on her science experiment. And she thought about how she had perfected each and every step of her dance for the show. The next day, Shreya went to school with a new hairstyle. I love your hair, Shreya. That's the prettiest headband I've ever seen. But what happened to your hair? Uh-oh. her friends did notice. Shreya took a deep breath. She was nervous. But then she remembered how kind her friends had been, how their notes showed all the things they loved about her. Well, I have alopecia, so my hair is a little different than yours. I have some spots like these where I have no hair at all, she said nervously. That's okay. We all have different hair, Alicia said. Shreya blinked in surprise. Alicia was right. For the first time, Shreya felt not one pesky strand of hair on her face. Instead, she felt proud like a champion, cool like a scientist, and bright like a star. Shreya's hair was just a part of who she was, and all of her was pretty great. Isn't that the best ending? The end. I hope you enjoyed this sweet story. I want to give a massive shout out and big Books with Miss B hug to my sweet friend Suhani, who wrote this story. She's given me permission to share this book with all of you, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I have. I have a daughter myself who has a type 1, it's an autoimmune disease, just like alopecia. It's called type 1 diabetes. And so whenever I read this story, it always just kind of hits home for Miss B right here in my heart, and makes me feel so happy to know that someone like Suhani is sharing this message and letting kids of all ages know what alopecia is and that it's okay to be different, because guess what, it really is. It's kind of amazing that not one of us is like the other. Okay, that's it. That's all I have for you today, and I hope you love this book. Please, please, please check out the description below. I will put a link where you can purchase this story and add it to your own home library. If you liked this read aloud, you can press the like button and also subscribe below to get more Books with Miss B stories. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all like crazy, and I will see you all next time. Bye! Mwah! Hi, my Books with Miss B friends. I have something very important I want you all to know.
Please, always remember this.
Remember that it is always
Very, very important to love who you are.
and don't try to be anybody else
But who you are. Because, in case you didn't know, I'm going to tell you.
you are without a doubt in my mind